just completed my 7th shift in the last 8 days. Hey babes, welcome or welcome back. If this is your first time seeing me, my name is Daisha and I help you take a mindful approach to wellness. If you feel like you've struggled with unhealthy habits, constantly starting over, or emotional eating, I help you understand why, as well as help you create habits, patterns, and mindset shifts to shape your well-being. If that sounds like something that you may need, let this be your soft place to land. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment down below and let me know what you would like to see more of. I would love to chat with you. So if you saw my previous mini vlog, you saw that I took a strike contract. I ended up in Southern California for a week, like within like 2 days, off the rip, random, right? But I also kind of went through how I was able to enjoy myself while also honoring my goals without being too strict. But now that we're back home, I definitely feel a difference in my body, my energy levels, and my overall routine just being completely thrown off. So, since it's almost summer, I feel like this is the perfect time to give you a video on how I reset after vacation or when I'm having a busy week and the 5 habits that I use to help me bounce back fast. So let's be real, the vacation was amazing. The food, incredible. The drinks, flowing. The sleep schedule, barely there. And now you're back, feeling bloated, exhausted. And why are you all of a sudden craving sugar? Well, I've been there and I'm kind of currently there. And it seems to happen every single time. But I've learned a few solid strategies that help me reset quickly, physically and mentally, without going into punishment mode. And like I said, with summer coming, it's definitely the cheat code you're going to need. So there's no surprise that my first tip is to hydrate, and not just water alone, but making sure you include electrolytes. When you're traveling, eating different foods, drinking more alcohol, and not sleeping well, your fluid balance is all over the place. You know how you feel like you gained 5 pounds overnight? Yeah, that plus the puffiness, the bloat, all of that is because your normal habits are being thrown off. But don't panic because most of it is just water. So I like to drink 80 to 100 ounces of water with added electrolytes, especially sodium, potassium, and magnesium. And I make sure to do this within the first couple of days that I'm back. You can always do a pinch of sea salt, a little bit of lemon or lime in your water, or you can add in something like Element, which is what I used when I was in Southern California, or none, and it helps me feel human again. The second tip, and I think this is huge, is eating high volume. It's important to get back to satisfying meals that help your digestion and help keep you full. Because just think about it, you're probably eating everything under the sun that is stretching your belly, exposing you to so many different things. So you kind of want to keep up that same amount of volume without the amount of calories. So eating that high fiber, high volume food will help to mitigate some of your cravings as well as add more nutrients to your diet. Leafy green salads, and roasted veggies. These meals are low in calories but high in fiber, bulk, and nutrients. They help me feel nourished, not restricted. And they naturally calm those out of control cravings that I built while eating out or snacking nonstop. The third thing that I try to do is I try to prioritize protein and gentle movement. I'm talking lean meats, eggs, protein shakes, whatever works. And why? Because protein helps with satiety or feeling satisfied or full. It also helps with muscle maintenance and blood sugar regulation. And this is especially important if you've been loading up on carbs and sweets. Like I know when I go on vacation, I'm definitely gonna have some pasta, maybe a piece of cake, maybe a cookie, some drinks. You know what I'm saying? So to help reverse that, it's really good to start incorporating a lot of lean protein back into your diet. And also, not a lot of people tend to work out on vacation. I tend to try to keep up my routine, but if you don't, instead of jumping right back into the gym, I usually ease in. Day one may just be a walk. Day two, a long stretch and a light lift. You don't have to go 0 to 100. Just try to remember to move your body consistently. Your energy and your strength and your desire to go back into your routine will come back. You just got to give yourself some grace. Tip 4, fix your sleep. This one may be difficult, especially if you deal with jet lag or you're in a different time zone or you're traveling to a different country. All of that can affect your sleeping pattern and sleep quality. One of the most underrated resets is getting your sleep back in order. There's no energy, no recovery, and no discipline if your sleep is trash. So when I've had a hectic week or I'm getting back from vacation, I aim to try to wind down a little bit earlier than normal. Reduce my screen time, sip on some herbal tea, take some magnesium, or my new favorite thing, those Ollie nighttime gummies. Those things really work, y'all. And I do my best to try to get back to a consistent bedtime. Even just 3 nights of good sleep makes me feel like a different person. And honestly, it makes everything else easier. My fifth and final tip is cutting the alcohol. Now, if you had a time, this might not be too hard when you get back. But if you are lightly drinking when you're out on vacation or when you're traveling and then coming back, sometimes it kind of triggers the desire to keep drinking regularly, if that makes sense. But this tip is major. You're going to have to take a break from the alcohol, period. After vacation, I usually try to go at least 1 to 2 weeks completely dry. If you've watched any of my other videos, you know that every time you drink, your body stops metabolizing fat for 24 to 72 hours. Yeah, so that whole fat loss process, it comes to a halt. So even if your calories are on point, your progress slows. So I just cut it out altogether. If you are going to drink, try to limit it to 1 to 2 drinks per week. But honestly, I feel so much better when I give my body a chance to completely detox. And this last point, I feel like nobody ever really mentions, but it's something that I've definitely noticed. So when I'm following a pretty clean diet or my normal eating of whole, unprocessed foods, I hardly have cravings. I hardly veer off. However, I've noticed the more sugar, alcohol, and processed foods I eat while traveling or on vacation, the more I start to crave them. It becomes easier to grab that bag of chips or that cookie rather than to actually resist it or not even want it at all. And I noticed that once I'm back at home, I'm less likely to want to prepare meals and eat the right thing. I tend to want to go and continue eating out. And honestly, for me personally, I know if I don't check it early, I'll start to spiral. Every day there will be an extra snack, or I'll eat that later. I'm gonna go out and eat this, and it starts to grow bigger and bigger and bigger. So I like to do what I call a palate reset. Whole foods, home cooked meals, high fiber veggies, water, and protein. Basically, a recap of what I just said. It's not restriction, it's literally resetting your taste buds so that you can again regain control. Remember, the 80/20 rule only works if you honor it. You can't take that 20% and run with it because eventually it'll flip and you'll be eating processed foods 80% of the time and eating clean foods 20% of the time. And that's not what we want. So, that's my simple reset. It's really not that hard, y'all. I promise you. Hydrate with electrolytes. Eat high fiber volume meals. Focus on protein and gentle movement. Fix your sleep. Cut the alcohol. And be aware of your cravings. This isn't about punishment, it's about feeling good again. Grounded, balanced, and back in your routine. Because remember, what do we always say? Discipline is freedom. If you found this valuable, like, comment, and send to someone who just got back from a trip. And don't forget to subscribe for more wellness and real life reset content. And as always, you got this, babes. Bye.